Hey everybody, welcome back to Bar Run Farm. And today we're going to actually harvest our potatoes out of the straw bales. Stick around. Now back in the spring, actually on St. Patrick's Day, we planted our potatoes in these big round straw bales and around the base. This is really an experiment. Last year we used square bales, had a good amount of success, and we just used spare potatoes. This year we actually bought potato sets. We bought about 10 pounds of potato sets, and we've already harvested one small plant over here, and out of that one small plant we got 6 pounds. Got some really big potatoes. We'll show you some pictures of those. So what I found out, that we planted some on the sides of the bales, and the hope was that they would come out and plant, would grow up in the air after the sun. Some of them didn't. They came up out of the top. A few of them came out. I'm not overly confident on what these will turn out to be. But again, this was an experiment. We found out that the ones up on top are not very big, didn't produce a whole lot. And part of that was because I'm pretty confident, they didn't have the water. So we didn't go overboard on putting the sprinklers out and watering this area too much. And I think with the straw bales, these were very dry straw bales. I really do think that if we soak these bales, if we really pour the water to these bales, or after this year, now that there's been some rot, there's been some moisture inside. I mean, you can put your hand inside these bales now and there's a lot more moisture than there was in the spring. I think after a time, and these will settle down, they'll kind of spread out and settle down. So I think we're just going to leave this bale here, maybe put some straw at the base again, plant some potatoes at the base. Worked out really good that way. But anyway, we're going to look in here. We're going to kind of tear things apart, see what we've got. It's kind of a blustery day out here in October, and we're going to find out what kind of potatoes we got. We've already weighed some of them, and we've got a bucket here. We're going to fill those up, weigh them out each time, and we'll see what our total is. Here we go. If I remember correctly, there was a plant in this area. I already harvested out of this area. Got some really nice potatoes. In fact, just found one pretty little golden potato. So see how easy these work is. I'm just basically taking my hands, dragging potatoes out of the ground. Some really pretty little potatoes there. Nice potatoes. And that's literally all I'm doing. I'm just raking my hands across the soil here and finding potatoes. I mean, look at that beauty. Isn't that pretty? So you can see it's not the back-breaking labor that we're all used to with harvesting potatoes. And there's not a massive amount of soil, but the soil is loose. And I'm just literally grabbing potatoes. Another beauty there. And this is just out of the plants down here at the base of the straw bale. And the soil is just so easy to work around. And I'm just running my fingers through here, finding some beautiful potatoes. Let's see how far that goes. Okay, and so that's just one plant. You can see that soil. That's our composted soil that we put in the spring. Having some potatoes just pop up out of that soil, and I'm going to push that straw back in there and make sure we didn't miss any. Throw all that composted, and I'm just seeing potatoes come up off the ground. That's one plant in, and just nice and easy. And I'll just keep on going around the corner here and finding potatoes as we go. Yeah, just beautiful. How easy that is. And just potato after potato, just beautiful little potatoes. Got some big ones. Look at that. And I'm just running my hands through the dirt here. Not really digging at all. And potatoes just keep coming at me. So I'm going to keep picking them up. We'll harvest the ones around the base here, and then we'll work into the inside and the top of the straw bale and see how that goes. All right, we got all the potatoes from around the bale at the base already. I've checked some of these side holes. We're going to get to the top here in just a second. Not seeing a lot of that, 2 or 3 potatoes. I'll give you the total on what was down below here in just a little bit, and then we'll go from there. We're going to look at the top here. I'll put this on a little time lapse, then we'll go check out the other bale that we planted. Well, I can tell you, not much success. And again, I think I know why. I'm interested to see what the other bale shows, but we've got a pretty good product already. Got some really good answers I think are going to help us for next year. Let's go look at the other bale. Here is what our total is going to be. We've got some mixed results, and I think we got a lot of great data. This batch right here is from the base of the straw bale. That was straw that we piled up, and some of that was from last year. So I think this is answering a lot of questions for me. This pile right here, 16 pounds. 16 pounds. And we probably, I don't know, put 4 potato sets around the base of that. Now on the top of that particular bale, two potatoes. So I thought, okay, we're not going to get a whole lot out of that other bale. So I go over here and we have 5 pounds. Now they're irregular. They're not all real nice, pretty potatoes like that. But I'm going to show you here in just a second what I think the major difference is between them and these, and how these can be even better next year. If we look around the base where we got all those big potatoes, I want you to see the soil here. There's all this straw and decomposed matter, and then down into the soil, this is what they were growing in. So loose, very well decayed, look at there, more. And then you come up on top, and I think you can tell very quickly, dry. Not a lot of decay. There's not a lot around it. It's still very tight as well. So I'm seeing dryness. There's moisture down in there, but it's really kind of hard to come by. So not as much decayed material. The straw bale is still really compact. On the sides, bone dry. This stuff in here is dry. And I know we haven't been to water it a whole lot lately, but I want to show you over at the other bale. But coming up to the other bale, I think you can already tell a major difference. These were put down at the same time, but I think we're going to find something really interesting. Look, I just piled some of this up here, but look at what's down in here. Decomposed soil. I mean, look at that. That's what the potatoes over here were growing in. That is not over in that other bale. We have decomposition galore down in here, and this is nice. I mean, that's going to grow some great potatoes next year. So I have some conclusions. I mean, look way down in the bale. That's what we're looking for, and it just wasn't in the other bale. So what's my final analysis on straw bale potatoes? We had a lot of success last year, and I wanted to try it again, but maybe on a little bit bigger scale. So we had these round straw bales, of which I've got some more for next year, but I figured something out. These were planted at the base of last year's straw, a lot of last year's soil, a lot of last year's straw, a lot more decayed matter, a lot more organic material in there, and holding the moisture. These were up on top in not very decayed soil, not very moist soil, and they just didn't produce. The ones on the sides, no go, definitely not. You would really have to do a lot of work with soil, with water. You would have to do so much with that. And then we did notice some plants coming up out of the top from the potatoes that were planted on the side. So I'm going to say no on planting on the sides of the bales, unless it's another plant. Maybe a vining plant might work on the side of that. If you're planting up on top, maybe you could put a zucchini or something like that to come down out of the side. But I think the first thing that has to happen is that has to get sunlight and it has to get moisture. So as far as the potatoes go, I'm going to say no go on the sides. And up on top, we saw over here with this batch that the main key to that, to actually producing potatoes, was that it had decayed matter. It had organic material that it decayed, which held moisture, and they just did better. that bale was broken down more, it was looser. You could just reach into the center of that big bale and just pull out stuff and just move it all around. And right now, it's a great big flower pot at this point. So no question about it, I'm going back to that same bale next year. If it decays and rots a little bit more, even better. This one here, I think we're gonna have to get in there and kind of tear it up a little bit and add more soil from our compost pile, and then we'll plant potatoes on top of both of those. I think the other thing that we're going to do is put some more straw around the base of these round bales, and then we'll plant some more potatoes in there as well. When we plant those potatoes around the base, we'll again add some more composted soil from our compost pile, but we're definitely going to add a lot of soil up on top, and we'll keep a really good eye on how that straw is breaking down and adding a lot more moisture to it. We've got sprinkler heads around here that we run throughout the summer sometimes. It just didn't get it, and I think we may have to do a lot more soaking of moisture. Over on that other one that's composted more, I don't think that's going to be an issue. We're going to hit that hard as well. Plant those again. If you're looking at our totals, I think we had somewhere around, we had 5 pounds in that first batch, 16 pounds here. So there was 21 pounds in just around the outside of the bale in just loose straw and composted soil. And you saw how easy it was to get them out of there. Man, that's just fantastic. I was just raking soil and potatoes were falling out on top of me. So 16 plus 5, that's 21 pounds just around the base. Not even counting this, maybe a pound. So 22 pounds. And then over here we had another 5 pounds. So we had somewhere around 27 pounds of potatoes on these 2 straw bales. We planted just shy of 10. So we more than doubled, close to tripled the amount of potatoes that we planted, we got back in homegrown potatoes. And I see potential for next year if we plant another 10 pounds, which I plan on doing. I see very easily potential. I mean, if the base of it only produced 21 pounds of potatoes, I think it's very easy to estimate that we could get 50 pounds or more out of 10 pounds of potatoes. A 5x production, I'll take that any day. And these are beautiful. I mean, some of these right here, just look at that. That's just a gorgeous potato. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. I think if you're looking for end results and what to get suggestions on for straw bale potatoes, go for it. You can't beat the ease of it. You put the straw bale down, you put soil in, you put your set in there, just keep it moist. And if you can, get rotten straw or hay. Any of those things I think will work great. The final result on that I think you're going to love. You're going to love how easy it is to manage. They're easy to get in and out of and to harvest. You saw how easy it was to harvest. I never got the potato fork out one time, and we still got 27 pounds or more of potatoes. So I would definitely recommend the straw bale potatoes. Go out, try it. Maybe in your area it's not going to work quite as good as here. Maybe this season wasn't as good as it should have been. Either way, I think this is a great way to do it. That's just me. I'm some dumb old farmer, but I just enjoy doing this. This was really cool, and I think we're going to go right back at it again next year in the same bales. Hopefully they'll decompose. Find that decomposition, use your compost, and I think you'll have some great potatoes. God bless you all. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.